DJ Ferris.
The Chicago, nigga.
It's the real one. Hit me.
Only one is pulling shit the fuck up.
Let's get sports talk.
After week 9, ESPN's FPI gave the Titans over a 70% chance to win. Now these teams have played week 10, and that has flipped. The Colts now a 57% chance to take home the crown. And so we begin the questions here, and let me start, Ryan Clark, with you. As we watched it last night, I'm old enough to remember when we were talking about the Titans as a team that could wind up in the Super Bowl. What the heck has happened?
Listen, the Tennessee Titans need to get LifeLock because there was an identity theft last night. When you think of the Tennessee Titans, you think of being physical in the run game. You think of playing good defense. You think of being good on special teams. That's what a Mike Vrabel football team is supposed to be, but they weren't that. You think of a quarterback that makes all the efficient plays and protects the ball. We watched that happen with the Indianapolis Colts. So we saw the Tennessee Titans get beat at their own game. They couldn't stop the run, the short passing game for the Indianapolis Colts got rolling, and they did come up with some big stops on the goal line and some fourth down stops, but the Indianapolis Colts moved the ball up and down the field on the Tennessee Titans, and it's beginning to be a problem for this Mike Vrabel football team. They don't stop people. The only team that they've stopped is the Chicago Bears, but right now Bart, me, Nico, Brody, and Kim can get out there and stop the Chicago Bears. And so if you are the Tennessee Titans, if you're Mike Vrabel, you're getting to a critical point in this season, you have to turn things around, or you'll start to question whether or not you are as good as we thought you were, or even as you thought you were when you were 5-0.
For the record, Brody is
the defense. The defense, they haven't stopped the Colts. Once you run the ball down their throat and you gas them, now that open up everything in the passing game, because they was going up and down the field most of every possession in that game, and the defense was gas majority of the game. I think they need more pass rushing and run stopping. It's the defense was just getting dominated the whole game. The run game was for Tennessee was doing all right, but the Colts slowed that down, and that block punt set everything off for the Colts. They made plays in that game to be able to beat them. And Tennessee wanted to do that, but it was the opposite. It was on the Colts side. Colts did what the Tennessee wanted to do, run the football and beat you on special teams. And the Colts did that, and Tennessee didn't do what they normally do, their game plan. And the outcome, they lost 34-17.
Is Ninko's new puppy. I noticed you mentioned the dog and not me in the defense there. All right, no offense taken.
Yeah, because
Nick, let me come to you. We just showed the Colts now a 57% chance of winning the division. These teams play each other again in 2 weeks. So who you got when it all finishes up here at the end of the season? Going to be Indy or Tennessee winning that division?
I'm going with Indianapolis. I just think that they're in an upward trajectory. You look at Tennessee, they started out hot, and look, they're fizzling out a little bit. They look to not have an identity. We understand they want to run the ball with Derrick Henry, but you can't win football games completing 15 passes with Ryan Tannehill. And you can't count on Derrick Henry to run for 200 yards a game. So they're going to have to get back to what they do best. That's pound the ball with Derrick Henry, hope that he can have a great game, and then play action pass with Ryan Tannehill. And they got to play defense. And they got to play special teams, because hats off to Raven Trone, the special teams coordinator for the Colts. They came out there, they pressured the punt team. They didn't have their starting punter out there. He shanks a punt. That's the...
Yes, that too. He shakes that punt, and it gave the Colts a short field, and they went and drove and got into the end zone. The difference with the Colts, they defense is first, I think, in pass rushing and third in rushing defense. So they defense is a top defense this year. And they had pass rushing. So they put the pressure on quarterbacks. And that's what Tennessee don't have. And they've been looking for that. And they haven't got it. and then they try to give it to Derrick Henry and have him run 200 yards. Like this league, you can run, you gotta mix it together though. Like you gotta put the ball in the air a lot more, too. Like because they gonna press the box because they know you got Derrick Henry. You use that to your advantage and pass the football, and you open it up. Then you get to Derrick Henry, but they didn't. They kept trying to force it, and the Colts defense stopped it.
That's the swing in the game. Those 2 plays on special teams, the block punt for a touchdown, the shank punt, that's what turned this game around. So hats off to the Colts special teams unit. They actually came out to play. Tennessee, they're nowhere to be seen.
100% right. But by virtue of their fast start this year, Tennessee gave themselves a little wiggle room. So who you got, Tennessee or Indy in the long run?
I tell you what, I got Tennessee by a hair. I mean, yesterday was pivotal so they can pull it closer. But when I look at the remaining schedule, I look at the Colts. Yes, they play Tennessee again, but they have Green Bay, Pittsburgh, the Raiders, and they have Tennessee again. So I'm going to say that, the Tennessee Titans have a better opportunity. They have to shore up their special teams. I think they do that. I will watch the waiver wire, see if they can improve on the position.
Yeah, they've had a terrible season kicking, obviously. Yes. Gostkowski, going all the way back to the opener, has really struggled. And so that's where it begins on this Football Friday with an interesting game on Thursday night. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube.